In this video, we're going to talk about Sublime text snippets. As a developer, it's important to make your workflow as quick and easy as possible to get the maximum amount of stuff done. And I used Sublime Text Editor for the code that I do on the web, which is 95% of the programming that I do is web-based now. So I want to go over how to create a snippet to speed up your code. Using these snippets will greatly speed up your workflow. If you've installed any packages on Sublime Text, more than likely those packages have installed snippets like Emmet. Emmet uses different snippets for HTML and PHP and stuff like that, but we're going to build our own custom snippets to speed up the workflow of stuff that you do. So let's get started building our own custom Sublime snippets. Here on the ideapro.io website that we use for testing and examples and stuff like that, I've created this testing.php page. And here on Sublime, I have created this page just in the public root, public HTML, the root of the website, and just said welcome to the test page. So here on the page here we have welcome to the test page. And so now I can type in stuff that I need to do, functions and code and stuff like that. So one of the things that I use on a regular basis is the printr command. Printr function that's pre-built into PHP. Now, what that's really good for is printing out an array. And typically, if I'm working on a form submit or something like that, we've either got a get or a post or a request, and the details are in that array, like a post array. So here we're going to create an array, and we're just going to call it simple array. And we're going to make an array here, and we're going to say green, blue, yellow, and white. Whoops, we'll put that in parentheses or in quotes there. All right, so now we've created an array that says green, blue, yellow, and white. And if we come in here and put in simple array, and we save this page, and we come over here and refresh, now we've got this array that, isn't that easy to look at. So these don't have any keys. They're automatically keyed. And the keys are the 0, 1, 2, 3. And if we had keys, and this was a multi-dimensional array, like each one of these values in the array were its own array, this gets really difficult to look at from just using the printr command. So even if we put in, let's put in a break here. We're just going to do echo, and we're going to put in a break. Even if we put in a break, we come back over here and we can still see this is still flat one line across there. Now, again, if we come in here and we start adding, more arrays, more stuff in there, it gets hard to see. So let's do that. Let's say this first one is an array, and inside of this array, we have green, purple, right? So now we have an array inside of an array. So now if we come over and we refresh the page, now we've got array 0 is array 0 green, 1 purple, 1 blue, 2 yellow. So it gets difficult to see what those, how that array is really laid out. So the one thing I use on a regular basis is I come in and I type in echo, and I do a pre HTML bracket. So, and then we do a closed pre. Now, what that does is it pre-formats the text so that we can see a better breakdown of what that array looks like. So if we come back over here and we refresh the page, now you can see that array and see how it's broken down. So it says array 0, oh, this is an array of 0 green, 1 purple, and then the next key in the array, the master array, is 1, which is blue, 2 yellow, and 3 white. So you can see how this array is broken out. And so I use that constantly for when I'm developing, if I need to, you know, if I'm decoding a JSON file, right? When you decode a JSON file, it either puts that JSON file into an object or an array. Typically, I like to use it as an array. So once I've decoded that JSON file, because just like this array, in just a string of text, that JSON file is hard to read and hard to pick out the different pieces of that JSON file. So decoding that JSON into an array and then pre-formatting and doing a print R of that array gives me an idea of what that array really looks like and how I can break out that array and use it. So I use this on a regular basis. And a great way to be able to use that array quickly is to create the Sublime text snippet that I use constantly. Okay, so we're going to go back over here into Sublime, and there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can navigate in Finder if you're on Mac, or Explorer on Windows, to the user folder of Sublime and create those snippets inside that folder. But the easiest way is to go up to Tools, Developer, and say New Snippet. So here under the C data here, this green text right here in the middle is where we're going to put in any code that we want to show up on the page. All right. So for me, the way I do it is I say echo, and I do a PRE, and then I do a print underscore R, and then I do echo and close the pre-RE. That is one simple line there so that I can use, so it doesn't take up a lot of lines. Now inside of this print R here, what we're going to do is we're going to make it where when we tab, it will tab into this section. And the way you do that is $1. Now that's going to be the first place when you hit tab that it's going to go to, so that you can start typing in what you want in that section. You could do, you know, a $2 here. You know, here at the end you could say $3, and each time you tab, it's going to go to those different sections. All right, but we only need one, and we're going to put it right here. Now, as I go to type in there, it's going to completely remove this $1, and that's where my cursor is going to be. And typically, you've got a variable that you want to print out. You want the $sign in front of it so that you don't have to retype that $sign. All right. So here we're going to put a $sign, and what that does is it says escape this. This is not going to be a $1. We're going to escape this first $sign, and so it's going to print this $sign out, and then it's going to make this $1 here the tab that it's going to use. All right. So then the tab trigger here, we're going to remove these HTML comments here, and in this trigger we're going to do demo. Okay. And so down here on the source, we're going to remove the HTML tags here, and we're going to leave the source as source.php. And we're going to save this, and again, it's going to automatically choose the user folder where the packages are. Okay, so I'm going to call this demo dot, and now this is the tricky part, and why they named it like this, I have no idea, but it's Sublime hyphen snippet. So our file is going to be demo.sublime-snippet. And we're going to save that. And then we can come over here to our testing page and we can remove all of this. Okay. And so now if we start typing out demo, it's going to automatically pop up and show us the demo snippet that we can use. All right. So if we start typing demo right there at the top, it provides an S here for demo, which is the snippet. And so then we can hit tab and it automatically puts us into that area that we can type simple array, which automatically starts populating there, and we can hit enter. And so now that is our pre-formatted array. And if we come back over here to the page and refresh, we get the same exact thing. Now, it's great that you can use these because you can make any snippets that you want, and you can expand on it and you can continue to build out more and more stuff with that snippet. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this snippets helps you speed up your process in writing code, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks.